Same with Chinese and Spanish. Well, I find English to be somewhat ugly. The only thing about English that I like is Shakespeare. So, getting to the point. Today I would like to talk about Shakespeare. He has developed English language, the greatest mind and playwright, poet. So basically his name is William Shakespeare. He was born in 1564. He married at the age 18 to his 26-year-old wife, Anne Hathaway. So there's an 8-year difference. His career started in 1586 when he started writing plays to 1611, and he died 1616, 5 years later, a mysterious death at age 54. So the reason why Shakespeare influenced English so much was because he created themes with his plays, which I'll talk about. So he wrote 38 different plays, divided into 4 different parts: the experimental period, the establishment period, the apex period, and the final. So starting with the experimental period, in 1591 to 1593, he began to experiment with different plays. So we have Henry IV, parts 1 through 3, and my favorite, The Taming of the Shrew. If you don't know Taming of the Shrew, you actually do. And let me explain why. So the storyline goes like this. So Taming of the Shrew. You have 2 girls. One nice, one mean. And then you have the boys. So of course the boys want to date the nice girl. But unfortunately, the mean girl is in the way. So how do you deal with this problem? The boys push one man to date the mean girl. And this makes that man somewhat unhappy. But in the end, they're happy and in love. So you probably have seen this storyline in many different movies, such as Kiss Me, Kate in 1953 and 10 Things I Hate About You in 1999. Many different movies base their themes off of Shakespeare's plays. Next is the establishment period in 1594 to the 1600s. And this is when he wrote his famous Romeo and Juliet, which set him into very popular views among the people of that time. He also wrote A Midsummer's Dream and Merchants of Venice. So I don't think I have to explain the storyline of Romeo and Juliet. It's very obvious. 2 people in love, and they die for it. So the classic movie, Romeo and Juliet, 1968, was remade into a new modern version, Romeo plus Juliet, in 1996, with Leonardo DiCaprio. So, apex period. This is when he was already popular and very well known by the many kings and royalty. In this period, he wrote my all-time favorite Shakespearean play, Twelfth Night, and many others like Othello and King Lear. To explain Twelfth Night, you're wondering, this isn't one of his popular plays, but what is it about? Well, again, let me explain the storyline. So you have a girl and a boy, but they're not in love. They're twins. Oh. They're identical twins, just different genders. But one twin disappeared. So what was the girl to do? She turned into a boy. Yes, she dressed like a boy. And then along comes a man. Well, this man needs a servant, and so she becomes his servant, but he thinks she's a man. Then she falls in love with him. You think that love stories would turn out correctly, but then there's another girl. Another girl. He falls in love with her. So because she is now his servant, she goes back and forth, sending love messages. But she changes his mind and he starts loving her. The problem is, am I gay? Oh my God, I think I'm gay. No, she reveals that she's a girl and they can fall in love. But what happens to this other girl? Well, the twin comes back. So, you've probably seen this storyline in many different places. We have the Taiwanese drama in 2006, and also She's a Man, based on the Shakespearean play. Okay. Next is the final period, 1609 to 1611. And this is when he started to reestablish his classics during the establishment period. So one of his most bloodiest plays was Macbeth. Macbeth is Throne of Blood in 1957 and Scarface in 1983. And these plays depict greed of power that is consuming them until they are consumed by it and die. So Shakespeare is one of the greatest English writers of all time. He is so famous that he has his own adjective, Shakespearean. Shakespearean has character, Shakespearean style, and Shakespearean era. Shakespearean characters are like Romeo and Juliet. Shakespearean style is the way he writes his plays and poems. And then we have the Shakespearean era, which is also the Queen Elizabeth era. In the end, the reason why I love Shakespeare so much is the plays that he wrote pushed one main idea. Sincerity of the heart defies the rules of society in modern time. So even though English is U-G-L-Y, Shakespeare is B-E-A-U-tiful. Thank you.